I prayed for a rose, a single rose, and in my heart I believed that was all I needed. The longing for this rose filled my thoughts, and I envisioned it in my mind, in every detail. I imagined its beauty, its fragrance, the softness of its petals, and how it would fill my soul with peace and joy. It was my desire, my wish, and I prayed for it with all the intensity of my being. But as I walked the path of faith, something remarkable happened. Something greater than I had asked for began to unfold. What I received was not just a rose, but a whole garden. In the quiet moments of my prayers, I had focused on a single flower, thinking that was the extent of my desires, my needs. Yet God in His infinite wisdom knew that my heart was capable of much more than I could have imagined. He saw the desires that lay deep within me, the ones I had not yet spoken, the ones I had yet to realize. What I had thought was a small, humble prayer was in truth a prayer for much more. I had asked for a rose, but in God's perfect understanding of me, He knew I needed a garden that would not only fulfill my request, but transform me. You see, when we pray, we are not just speaking to God. We are declaring the state of our consciousness. We are tapping into a higher realm of understanding where the seed of our desire is planted. Our prayers are not just words. They are living thoughts that resonate with the divine, and in the silence that follows, the universe begins to move. What we think is a small wish is actually a great potential for creation. What we see as a single rose is in reality a whole world of possibilities waiting to manifest. As the garden began to take shape, I realized that the rose was only the beginning of something more profound. Every flower in that garden represented a dream, a blessing, a gift that had been born from the fertile soil of my faith. Each blossom symbolized a different aspect of life: love, success, peace, joy, health. All the things I had not asked for directly, but were part of the vastness of God's generosity. The garden was a reflection of my growth, an outward manifestation of the inner transformation that had taken place in my heart. In receiving the garden, I learned that our prayers are not limitations. We may think we are asking for something small, something specific, but God sees us as whole beings with infinite potential. He knows our true desires, even the ones hidden beneath the surface of our consciousness. When we pray, we are not just asking for a single rose. We are asking for the full bloom of our lives. We are calling forth the garden that lies within us, a garden full of abundance, beauty, and grace. The journey from the prayer of a rose to the garden I received was not immediate, and it was not without challenges. There were times when I wondered if the rose was ever coming, when the ground seemed barren and my faith wavered. But in those moments, I remembered that the garden was already in existence. It was within me, planted deep in the unseen realms of possibility. Every doubt, every setback was simply a moment for me to realign with the truth that the garden was already mine to claim. This is the power of faith and trust. When you align yourself with the divine plan, you are no longer bound by the limits of your current understanding. You are connected to the eternal flow of abundance that transcends time and space. God does not give you what you think you need. He gives you what is aligned with your highest good. And in doing so, He opens doors you didn't even know existed. When you pray, do not limit yourself to a single rose. Do not limit yourself to one dream, one vision, one possibility. Open your heart to the vastness of the universe and trust that what you receive will be far greater than you can imagine. You may ask for a rose, but in God's hands, that prayer transforms into a garden that nourishes every part of your life, bringing you more than you could ever ask for. Remember, the garden is not just something you receive, it is something you become. It is a reflection of your faith, your inner transformation, and your willingness to trust in the divine. The rose you asked for was only the beginning. What God has for you is beyond your current vision. Keep your heart open and let your prayers be seeds that grow into something more magnificent than you could ever imagine. I prayed for a rose, a single rose, and in the deepest corners of my heart I held that simple wish close. My soul yearned for the beauty, the fragrance, the touch of this one flower. I imagined it vividly, a rose in full bloom, its petals soft and inviting, a symbol of everything I desire. And as I prayed, I believed with all my heart that this was enough. This one rose would be my sign, my fulfillment, and my peace. But as I continued to walk in faith, I came to understand that what I had asked for was only a small piece of the abundant life that God had planned for me. Instead of the single rose, He had given me a garden, a vast, thriving garden that would bloom in ways I could never have imagined. In the beginning, my prayers were filled with longing for that rose, thinking it was the only thing I needed. I focused on the single flower as if it were the epitome of my desire, the answer to my prayers. But as the days went by, as I continued to trust and surrender, I began to notice something incredible happening. The garden was not something I could see with my physical eyes, not at first, but within, I could feel it, I could sense it. And as the seasons changed, as the days passed, that garden started to reveal itself in every corner of my life. What I did not understand when I first prayed for the rose was that God was not just responding to my request. He was answering it with perfect love and wisdom, giving me far more than I had ever thought to ask for. He saw the fullness of my soul, the potential within me, and He knew that I was capable of so much more. I had been asking for a single rose, but He was giving me a garden of endless possibilities, a garden that would bring me joy, peace, and fulfillment in ways I could not have foreseen. It's easy to get caught in the trap of believing that our desires are small, that we are asking for something too simple or too specific. We may think we are limited to what we can see, feel, or understand, but God's view of us is different. He sees the depths of our hearts, the layers of our being, and the infinite potential within us. Our prayers are not merely requests. They are invitations to the divine to show us what is possible, even beyond our limited understanding. We may ask for a rose, but in truth, we are asking for the fullness of life itself. We are asking to be connected to the very source of all creation, and that source knows what we need far better than we do. I had prayed for that rose, and in doing so, I was unknowingly opening myself to receive so much more. The garden I received was not just about material things or external circumstances. It was a reflection of the internal transformation that was happening within me. As the garden began to bloom, I began to see things differently. My heart opened wider, my mind expanded, and I began to understand the vastness of the universe and my place within it. What I had once thought was a simple prayer for a single flower had turned into a journey of self-discovery, growth and awakening. The garden, I realized, was not just about external manifestations. It was about becoming. It was about stepping into the truth of who I am and embracing the abundance that already exists within me. The rose was merely the seed from which the garden grew. It was the initial spark that ignited a chain of events that would forever change my life. In receiving the garden, I realized that I had been praying for more than I could ever articulate with words. The rose was just the beginning, the first step in a much grander journey that was unfolding before me. As I looked at the garden, I saw not just flowers, but opportunities. I saw not just beauty, but lessons. Each flower in the garden represented a different aspect of life: love, success, health, peace, creativity, and more. The garden was a living, breathing manifestation of everything that was available to me, waiting for me to embrace it fully. The rose was just a small part of a much greater whole, and I realized that the more I allowed myself to expand, the more I could see and appreciate the vastness of what was being offered. The beauty of the garden was not just in the flowers themselves, but in the way each flower came into being. I had not had to force the garden to grow. It grew naturally, effortlessly, Just as all things in life grow when we trust the process and allow them to unfold. The rose I had prayed for was a symbol of my desire, but the garden was a symbol of God's abundance, grace, and perfect timing. What I had once thought I needed had been expanded into something far greater than I could have ever imagined. As I walked through the garden, I was reminded that everything in life operates in perfect harmony. The roses, the lilies, the daisies, all were planted in their own time, in their own way. Each flower had its own unique beauty, its own purpose, and each was necessary for the garden to thrive. Just as each flower plays its part, so too do we each have our own role to play in the grand design of life. No flower is more important than another. They all contribute to the beauty and balance of the garden as a whole. And so it is with us. We may think that one desire, one prayer is more important than another, but in the grand scheme of things, everything is connected, everything has a purpose, and everything is part of the divine plan. What I had learned was that the garden was not just a gift. It was a reflection of who I was becoming. It was not simply about receiving blessings, but about recognizing the power of my own creative potential. When we pray, when we believe, when we trust, we are not asking for something outside of ourselves to change. We are inviting the divine to reveal the truth of who we are and what we are capable of. The garden is not just a place where flowers bloom. It is a place where we bloom, where we grow into the fullness of our being, where we realize that we are part of the infinite, unchanging flow of life. In the garden, I learned to be patient. I learned that growth takes time and that sometimes the most beautiful things take the longest to unfold. There were days when I wondered if the roses would ever bloom, if the garden would ever be complete. But in those moments of doubt, I remembered the promise that was made to me, that what I had prayed for would be given to me in perfect timing in the right season. The garden, in all its beauty and abundance, was always there waiting for me to see it. And just as the garden grew in its own time, so too would my desires and dreams manifest in their own perfect time. It was not just the beauty of the garden that amazed me, but the realization that I was part of something much greater. The garden was not something separate from me. It was an extension of who I was. As I tended to the garden, as I nurtured it with my thoughts, my faith, and my love, I began to see that the garden was not just an external reality. It was a reflection of my inner state of being. The way I cared for the garden was the way I cared for myself. The way I nurtured the flowers was the way I nurtured my own growth. The garden was a mirror, reflecting back to me everything I was becoming and everything I had already become. The more I spent time in the garden, the more I understood that what I had prayed for was not just the fulfillment of a single desire. It was the beginning of a transformation that would continue for the rest of my life. Each flower, each petal, each stem was a reminder that life is constantly growing, constantly evolving, and constantly expanding. There is no limit to what we can receive, to what we can create, to what we can become. The garden was a testament to the infinite possibilities that lie before us. And the more we trust in the process, the more we allow ourselves to receive. As I stand in the midst of this garden, I realize that my prayer for a rose was not just about asking for something. It was about opening my heart to the limitless potential that resides within me. It was about trusting in the divine, knowing that whatever I ask for, God has already prepared for me in abundance. The garden is a reflection of my faith, my belief in the power of creation, and my willingness to receive what is meant for me. It is not just about the rose, it is about the entire garden, the fullness of life, and the infinite possibilities that await us when we trust in the process and allow ourselves to bloom. As I stand among the vibrant blossoms, I can't help but marvel at the beauty of each individual flower. They have each come into being with their own unique energy, a unique form, fragrance, and color, all contributing to the harmony of the garden. Each bloom, no matter how big or small, is a testament to divine order that is woven into the fabric of the universe. In the same way, each of us is a unique expression of life itself. When I prayed for the rose, I had no idea that God would give me a garden not just of flowers, but of opportunities, growth, and life experiences, each one bringing with it a lesson, a blessing, or a realization that would shape my journey. I often reflect on how limited my perception was when I first made that prayer. I thought I knew exactly what I needed, a single beautiful rose to brighten my life. I asked for it because it represented something simple, something I thought would bring me peace. But what I had failed to realize was that God, in His infinite wisdom, was not just answering my request for a flower. He was responding to the deepest desires of my heart. He was giving me the opportunity to experience the fullness of life itself, to witness the unfolding of all that I am capable of becoming. In this garden, I have learned that the process of growth is not linear. There are times when the flowers bloom quickly, and times when they take longer to open. There are seasons of rapid growth, where the garden seems to burst with color and life. And there are seasons of quiet rest, when it seems like nothing is happening at all. But I have come to understand that in every moment, whether in the height of bloom or in the quiet stillness, the garden is always growing, even when it seems like nothing is changing. Beneath the surface, the roots are deepening, the soil is nourishing, and the potential for future growth is becoming stronger. Just as in life, there are moments when things may appear stagnant, but this does not mean that growth is not occurring. In fact, it is often during these times that the most profound transformations are taking place, unseen and unheard, until the time is right for them to emerge. The beauty of the garden is not just in the flowers that bloom, but also in the wisdom that is gained through patience and trust. Each flower represents a different aspect of life, a different lesson, and each one requires a unique form of care. Some flowers thrive in the sunlight, while others prefer the shade. Some need constant attention, while others grow best when left undisturbed. Just as we are all unique, each one of us has different needs, different desires, and different ways of blooming. The key is to honor and respect these differences, to give ourselves the space to grow in our own time and in our own way. The garden teaches me that there is no right or wrong way to grow. There is only the path that is unique to each of us. The act of tending to the garden is a sacred practice. It is a daily act of love, a demonstration of care, and a reminder that growth requires attention and intention. In the same way, our desires and dreams require our care and attention. The prayer I once offered for a single rose was just the beginning of a journey of learning to tend to the inner garden of my soul. Just as the physical garden requires water, sunlight, and nourishment to thrive, so too do our inner gardens require love, faith, and gratitude. By focusing on what we want to grow, whether it be our dreams, our relationships, or our health, we can cultivate a life of abundance. The more we nurture these desires, the more they begin to take root and grow. The garden is also a place of release. As I work among the flowers, I am reminded that in order for new growth to occur, old growth must sometimes be pruned away. This is a part of life, a necessary step in the process of evolution. Just as the dead leaves and faded flowers are pruned to make way for new growth in the garden, so too must we let go of old beliefs, fears, and attachments that no longer serve us. In the quiet moments of stillness, as I remove the old and make space for the new, I am reminded that growth cannot occur without release. We must let go of the past to make room for the future. We must trust that the pruning is not a loss, but rather a necessary part of the process, a way of clearing the space for something even greater to emerge. As the garden flourishes, I realize that the roses, the lilies, the daisies, they are all part of a grand design. They are not isolated, separate entities. They are interconnected, each one dependent on the others for balance and harmony. The roses need the daisies need the lilies, and all of them together create a symphony of beauty and life. This is a reminder that we too are interconnected. We are not isolated beings, but part of a greater whole. Our lives are intertwined with those around us, and our growth is often influenced by the growth of others. Just as the garden thrives because of its diversity, so too do our lives thrive when we embrace the richness of our relationships and experiences. It is in our interconnectedness that we find the true beauty of life. The garden, like life itself, is not static. It is always evolving, always changing, always expanding. New flowers are always blooming, new opportunities are always presenting themselves, and new lessons are always being learned. Just as the garden has its seasons, so too do our lives. There are seasons of growth, seasons of harvest, and seasons of rest. We cannot force the seasons to change, but we can trust that each one has its purpose. The garden teaches us to embrace each season with grace and patience, knowing that every moment is part of a greater cycle, a cycle that leads to ever-expanding growth and beauty. As I stand in the midst of this abundant garden, I am reminded of the incredible power of faith and trust. When I prayed for that single rose, I could not have known what was truly in store for me. But God in His wisdom knew exactly what I needed. He knew that the rose was not the end of my journey, but the beginning of something far greater. The garden that has bloomed in my life is a reflection of the abundance that is available to each of us when we trust in the process and believe in the power of our own creative potential. God did not give me just a rose. He gave me a garden of infinite possibilities, waiting for me to step into it fully. The key to receiving the fullness of this garden is to remain open, to trust in the divine timing, and to surrender to the flow of life. The garden does not bloom overnight, and neither do our desires. But when we remain faithful, when we trust in the unseen forces that are at work, we begin to see the fruits of our labor. Just as the flowers grow in their own time, so too will our dreams and desires manifest in their own perfect time. The garden teaches us that everything is in divine order, that nothing is wasted, and that every moment is a precious part of the unfolding of our lives. What I had once thought was a simple prayer for a rose has transformed into a lifelong journey of discovery, growth, and abundance. The garden is a reflection of the divine order that governs all of life. It is a testament to the power of faith, patience, and trust. The roses, the lilies, the daisies, they are all expressions of life, beauty, and love, just as we are. When we trust in the process, when we believe in the unseen, and when we surrender to the flow of life, we open ourselves to receive the fullness of the garden that is waiting for us. And so I stand in awe of the garden before me. I look at the roses that have bloomed, the lilies that stretch toward the sky, and the daisies that dance in the wind. Each flower is a testament to the power of creation, a reminder that our desires are always being answered in ways we may not understand. I prayed for a rose, but God gave me a garden that will continue to grow and evolve just as I will. And in this garden, I find not just beauty, but peace, not just abundance, but purpose. It is a garden of infinite possibilities, and it is mine to tend, to nurture, and to enjoy. As I stand among the flowers, I realize that every petal, every leaf, and every branch tells a story. The story is not just about the garden itself, but about the forces at play beneath the surface, forces that we often cannot see with our physical eyes, but can feel deeply within. There is a flow to life, a divine current that runs through everything. This flow guides the seed into the soil, the bud into bloom, and the flower into full expression. The same flow exists within us, directing us toward the highest versions of ourselves. Sometimes we resist this flow because we are too focused on what we believe we want or need. But when we surrender to it, when we trust that the garden is unfolding just as it should, we begin to see the greater beauty of the process. It is often said that the journey is just as important as the destination. And in the case of the garden, I have come to see that this is true. The rose I asked for was just the beginning, a single point of focus in the vast expanse of possibilities. When I asked for the rose, I had a limited understanding of what I truly desired. I thought I needed that specific flower to bring me happiness, to fulfill a sense of longing within me. But the truth is, what I wanted was not just the rose, but the feelings that the rose represented. I wanted beauty, I wanted peace, I wanted love, and the rose was simply a symbol of those desires. But what I learned in the process of receiving the garden is that beauty, peace, and love are not confined to a single flower or a specific moment. They are the very essence of life itself, constantly unfolding in ways we often cannot predict. In asking for the rose, I was asking for something specific, but God, in His wisdom, understood that what I truly sought was not a singular object or experience. What I truly sought was an abundance, a fullness of life that could only come when I let go of my attachment to the specific form and allowed the divine to give me something greater. In the garden, I witnessed the miracle of abundance every day. The roses bloom, yes, but so do the daisies, the lilies, the sunflowers, and every other flower that finds its place in the soil. Each one has its unique beauty, its own timing, and its own space to grow, and yet they all contribute to the greater harmony of the garden. This is how life works too. We are all unique individuals, each with our own desires, dreams, and paths. But when we release the need to control how these desires will manifest, when we allow ourselves to trust in the divine intelligence that governs all things, we find that everything we need is already in place. It may not appear as we expected, but it will be more than we could have ever imagined. When we are attached to a specific outcome, we limit the possibilities that can come our way. The mind tends to get fixated on what it thinks is best, often overlooking the many ways that life can surprise and delight us. We ask for a rose, believing that this particular flower will bring us the happiness we seek. But what we don't see is that God, in His infinite creativity, has already prepared a garden that will bring us not only the rose, but so much more. The garden is a representation of life's abundance, the richness that comes when we stop trying to dictate the terms of our experience and simply allow ourselves to be open to receiving what is best for us. I've learned that the roses I once asked for were not just flowers. They were an invitation to a deeper understanding of who I am becoming, and the infinite possibilities available to me. When we ask for something specific, we are often doing so from a place of limited understanding. We believe that this one thing will bring us the fulfillment we crave, but the truth is that life has a much bigger plan in store for us. But what I prayed for and what I was given is not just the fulfillment of a single desire, but the opening of a door to something much grander. The garden before me represents the boundless potential that exists in every moment, in every breath. As the garden grows, so too does my understanding of myself. Every time I observe the flowers, I am reminded of the endless potential within each of us. Each flower begins as a seed, hidden beneath the soil, seemingly insignificant, and yet it carries within it the blueprint of its full expression. And in the same way, each of us carries within us the blueprint of our greatest potential. We are not born as finished products. We are born as seeds filled with infinite possibility. The garden teaches me that our potential is already within us, waiting for the right conditions to bloom. We do not need to seek our fulfillment outside of ourselves. It is already planted within us, waiting for us to cultivate it. It is said that the garden reflects the state of the soul. If the garden is well tended, if the soil is rich and nourished, the flowers will bloom in their full glory. Likewise, if our inner world is healthy, abundant, and clear, our outer world will reflect that abundance. The key to creating a life filled with beauty and fulfillment lies not in our circumstances, but in the way we nurture our inner garden. Just as a flower needs the right conditions to grow, sunlight, water, and rich soil, so too do our desires need the right inner conditions to manifest. When we tend to our minds, hearts, and souls with love, gratitude, and faith, we create the environment for our dreams to grow. As I tend to my own inner garden, I am reminded that the growth process is not always smooth. There are times when weeds will appear, when pests will threaten to destroy the flowers, when the weather will be too harsh for the delicate blooms. And yet, these challenges are not signs of failure. They are simply part of the natural cycle of growth. The weeds can be removed, the pests can be managed, and the garden can be protected from the storms. In the same way, we face challenges and obstacles in life. But these are not signs that we are on the wrong path. They are simply opportunities to learn to grow stronger and to deepen our faith. Every challenge we face is an invitation to strengthen our roots, to deepen our understanding, and to trust in the process of life. The garden is also a reminder of the importance of patience. Flowers do not bloom overnight, and neither do our dreams. Growth takes time. There are moments of waiting, of uncertainty, but in these moments, we are being prepared for the fullness of what is to come. The seed does not question the process. It simply trusts that in time it will grow into the magnificent flower it was always meant to be. And so must we. We must trust in the timing of our lives, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The rose, the lily, the sunflower, they all bloom in their own time. And so will our desires, our dreams, and our greatest potentials. It's easy to become impatient when we don't see immediate results. But if we can shift our perspective, we can see that the waiting period is not a time of emptiness, but a time of preparation. In the same way that the garden is not barren during the winter months, neither is our life ever truly in a state of nothingness. Even in the quiet times, there is preparation happening beneath the surface. The roots are deepening. The foundation is being strengthened. The flowers are simply waiting for the right moment to emerge. What I have learned from this garden is that life is not about seeking perfection. It is about embracing the beauty of the journey, the process, and the unfolding. The garden is always changing, always growing, and always revealing new layers of beauty. In the same way, we are constantly evolving, constantly becoming. There is no end to this process of growth. We are not meant to arrive at a destination, but to experience the joy of the journey itself, to witness the miracle of transformation at every turn. In the grand tapestry of life, every moment is a gift. Every season, every challenge, every blessing is part of the divine unfolding. The garden teaches me to trust that I have everything I need within me to thrive, and that when I let go of my limited vision and open myself to the abundant possibilities of life, I will always be surprised by what unfolds before me. The garden is not just a collection of flowers. It is a reflection of the life I am creating. It is a reminder that when we trust in the divine process, when we surrender to the flow of life, we are given more than we could ever have imagined. But what I prayed for was a rose, but what I received is a garden. A garden that continues to grow, evolve, and bring me gifts beyond my wildest dreams. As I stand in the midst of this garden, I realize that the true gift is not the flowers themselves, but the realization that everything I need has already been provided for me. The rose I asked for was just a glimpse into the abundant life that awaited me. The garden, in all its diversity and beauty, symbolizes the fullness of life that flows through each of us, waiting to be embraced. It is not about holding on tightly to a single desire or outcome, but about trusting that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, will give us exactly what we need, often in ways we never could have imagined. The garden is a living testament to the power of surrender, patience, and faith. Just as the flowers grow in their own time, so too do our dreams and desires unfold when we allow them the space to bloom naturally. Every season, every challenge, every moment of waiting is a part of the divine process that leads us to greater fulfillment and joy. When we open our hearts and minds to the abundant possibilities of life, we begin to see that the garden we've been given is more than we ever thought we needed. In the end, the garden is not just about the beauty of the flowers, but about the beauty of the journey itself. It is about trusting the process, letting go of expectations, and allowing life to unfold in its own perfect timing. And as we do, we discover that the garden we once prayed for is only the beginning of a life filled with endless possibilities, waiting for us to step into its abundant flow. There is a power within you that speaks beyond words, a voice that aligns with the divine, shaping the scene from the unseen. As you step into this new month, know that every prayer you utter, every thought you hold with conviction, carries the seed of manifestation. You are not separate from God, for the kingdom of heaven is within you. As you close your eyes and speak this prayer, feel it is already answered. Father, I give thanks, for I know that before I even ask, it is done. Every blessing, every breakthrough is already mine. I do not beg, for I am your child, and all that you have is mine. I do not chase, for I rest in the certainty that what I seek is seeking me. I do not doubt, for faith is the evidence of things unseen, and I stand firm in the knowing that you are always working on my behalf. This is the month where doors open effortlessly, where obstacles dissolve like mist before the morning sun. Every step I take is guided, every decision is blessed, for I walk in divine favor. Nothing is withheld from me, for I believe, and it is done. I release all fear, all worry, all hesitation. There is no lack in my life, for I dwell in the abundance of God. Every cell in my body vibrates with divine health. Every relationship is filled with peace, and every resource flows to me in perfect time. I do not look to the world for validation. I look within, where the voice of God whispers, "You are already blessed." I stand firm in faith, knowing that no force, no delay, no circumstance can hinder what God has ordained for me. My vision is clear, my path is straight, and my heart is open to receive. This month I declare favor beyond measure, provision beyond expectation, and joy that overflows. Whatever has been held back is now released. Whatever has been lost is restored. Whatever has been delayed is now accelerated. I am ready, I am willing, I am aligned, and so it is. There is no force greater than the power of prayer, spoken with absolute belief. In this sacred moment, as you align yourself with the divine, let every word you utter be a decree, a declaration that the blessings of heaven are already flowing into your life. Do not pray as one who is uncertain, as one who hopes but does not know. I pray as one who understands that God is not distant, but within, closer than breath, nearer than thought. Father, I enter this new month with gratitude, knowing that every step is ordered, every path made straight. I do not ask for blessings as if they are apart from me. I claim them as my rightful inheritance. You have designed me for abundance, for joy, for success, and I step into these gifts with unwavering faith. I see doors opening before me, doors that no one can shut. I see healing flowing through my body, restoring every cell, bringing vitality and strength. I see opportunities arising in places I never expected, divine connections forming that propel me forward into the destiny you have set before me. Nothing is impossible for you, Lord, and nothing is impossible for the one who believes. I release every limitation, every doubt, every fear, and I embrace the fullness of your promises. I do not look at circumstances. I do not waver when storms arise, for I know that in every challenge you have already provided the victory. The mountains before me are moved by faith. The obstacles dissolve before my declaration of truth. I am more than a conqueror. I am already victorious. This month is a season of supernatural increase. Where there has been lack, there is now overflow. Where there has been struggle, there is now ease. Where there has been confusion, clarity now reigns. I step into divine alignment, walking in the wisdom that comes not from the world, but from the Spirit within. I no longer struggle against the current of life. I allow your power to carry me effortlessly into my highest good. I do not force, I do not chase, I do not strive. I rest in the certainty that all things are unfolding perfectly in your divine timing. Every morning as I rise, I speak these words and feel their truth vibrating in my being. I am blessed, I am chosen, I am favored, I am protected, I am provided for. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No force can hinder what you have ordained for my life. The works of my hands are blessed. My thoughts are guided by divine wisdom. My heart is filled with peace beyond understanding. I let go of all that no longer serves me. I release worry. I release anxiety. I release the need to control. I trust fully, completely, without hesitation. Father, I see abundance flowing into my life like a mighty river. Washing away all remnants of lack, I see debts canceled, financial burdens lifted, unexpected provision arriving right on time. I see businesses thriving, careers advancing, opportunities multiplying. I walk in a realm where all my needs are met before I even recognize them. I am not bound by the limitations of the physical world, for I operate under the laws of your kingdom, where lack does not exist and supply is infinite. I declare that my health flourishes in divine perfection. Every organ, every muscle, every nerve functions exactly as you designed it. Sickness has no place in my body, disease has no authority over me, for I am covered by your healing power. Every cell is renewed, every function restored, every imbalance corrected. I walk in strength, vitality, and divine energy. I declare that my relationships are filled with love and harmony. Every misunderstanding is resolved, every wound is healed, every bond is strengthened. I attract into my life people who align with your purpose for me, who uplift and support my vision. Toxic connections dissolve effortlessly, and in their place divine friendships are formed. I walk in love, and love flows back to me in every interaction. I declare that my mind is at peace. No longer will I entertain thoughts of fear, failure, or doubt. My mind is disciplined, focused, and filled with thoughts that align with my highest good. Every negative thought is replaced with truth. Every limiting belief is dismantled and replaced with divine wisdom. I think only of what is pure, what is noble, what is praiseworthy. My words are powerful, my declarations are unstoppable, for I understand that as I speak, I create. Father, I give thanks, for I know that even now unseen forces are moving on my behalf. I do not need to see with my physical eyes to believe, for I walk by faith, not by sight. I trust the process. I trust the divine order of things. I trust that all is working together for my highest good. Even in moments when things seem uncertain, I remain steadfast, knowing that you are orchestrating miracles behind the scenes. I release all burdens, all stress, all striving. I surrender to the flow of divine abundance, allowing myself to be carried by your grace. I no longer try to force my way. I simply align with the truth that all I seek is already mine. I am not a beggar. I am an heir to the kingdom. I am not struggling. I am thriving. I am not waiting. I am receiving now. This month, every day I will walk with confidence, knowing that heaven's blessings are chasing me down. My steps are ordered, my hands are blessed, my voice carries power, my faith is unshakable. Nothing can stand against the one who believes, and I believe with every fiber of my being. My prayers are not empty words. They are living, breathing declarations that shape my reality. I do not concern myself with the how, for that is already handled. I do not question the when, for divine timing is always perfect. I only rest in the knowing that is done. And as I walk in this truth, I see evidence of your power manifesting all around me. Synchronicities align, miracles unfold, blessings multiply. My testimony is already being written, and it is greater than I could have imagined. Father, I thank you, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. I thank you not for what is coming, but for what is already here. I thank you not from a place of need, but from a place of certainty. For you have never failed me, and you never will. I am chosen, I am loved, I am favored beyond measure. And so it is. I lift my spirit in unwavering faith, knowing that every word I speak is infused with divine power. I do not pray as one who is waiting for blessings to arrive, but as one who knows they are already here. I open my heart to receive, to accept the abundance, the breakthroughs, the miracles that have already been ordained for me. I let go of all resistance, all doubt, all hesitation. I stand in the certainty that I am guided, protected, and provided for in ways beyond my understanding. The forces of heaven move on my behalf, aligning circumstances, shifting realities, and clearing the way for my highest good. Father, I see every limitation dissolving, every obstacle crumbling, every delay vanishing. I am not confined by past experiences, by old patterns, or by the expectations of the world. I step into a new dimension of faith where all things are possible. I rise above fear, above worry, above anxiety, and I rest in the absolute assurance that you are working all things together for my good. My breakthrough is not coming, it has already arrived. I claim it now, I live in it now, I rejoice in it now. The power of my prayer is not in the words alone, but in the conviction with which I speak them. I do not wish, I do not hope, I declare. I do not ask from a place of lack, I speak from a place of knowing. Everything I need has already been supplied. Every resource, every opportunity, every open door is already in place. I no longer search outside myself for answers, for I know that the kingdom of heaven is within me. I am one with the divine, and in this oneness there is no separation, no limitation, no lack. Every morning as I awaken, I speak these words with certainty. I am blessed beyond measure. I am chosen for great things. I am walking in divine favor. I am surrounded by miracles. I attract prosperity effortlessly. I radiate health and vitality. I am a magnet for divine opportunities. My steps are ordered. My path is illuminated. My future is secure. There is no force that can stand against the power that flows within me. I am unstoppable, unshackable, unbreakable. I refuse to entertain thoughts of doubt or failure. My mind is disciplined, focused only on what is pure, what is true, what is aligned with the highest good. No longer will I allow fear to dictate my reality. No longer will I allow circumstances to determine my faith. I take authority over my life, over my thoughts, over my emotions. I choose to see only the truth, and the truth is this: I am already victorious. I am already abundant. I am already living in divine overflow. Father, I release all burdens, all struggles, all worries. I place them in your hands, knowing that you are the God who never fails. I trust you completely. I let go of the need to control, to understand, to figure everything out. I rest in the knowing that you are always on time, that your ways are higher, that your plans are perfect. I surrender to the divine flow, allowing blessings to come to me with ease, allowing miracles to unfold effortlessly. Every day I expect favor, I expect increase, I expect breakthroughs. I do not allow my faith to be swayed by temporary challenges. I see beyond the surface, beyond the illusion of lack or limitation. I see with the eyes of faith, knowing that what I believe in my heart will surely come to pass. I do not live by what I see, I live by what I know. And I know that I am destined for greatness, for joy, for peace beyond understanding. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No obstacle can stand in the way of what God has prepared for me. No setback can stop the blessings that are already in motion. I walk in divine protection. Every force that rises against me is already defeated. Every negative word spoken against me is rendered powerless. Every attack of the enemy is turned into a testimony of victory. I am shielded by divine favor, and nothing can touch what has been ordained by the heaven. This month I am walking into a season of acceleration. What took others years will take me months. What seemed impossible before will manifest effortlessly. Every delay is being turned into divine timing. Every disappointment is being transformed into a greater blessing. I trust the process, for I know that behind every challenge is an opportunity for expansion, for growth, for elevation. My heart is open to receive. I do not block my blessings with fear or doubt. I do not resist what is already mine. I align myself with the flow of abundance, stepping into the life that has already been prepared for me. I no longer hold on to the past, to old wounds, to limiting beliefs. I release everything that no longer serves me. I walk forward free, empowered, ready to embrace the fullness of my destiny. Father, I thank you for the unseen miracles already unfolding. I thank you for the favor that surrounds me like a shield. I thank you for the divine connections, the unexpected blessings, the breakthroughs beyond my imagination. I thank you not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. I thank you as one who understands that is already done. I step into this month with confidence, with boldness, with unwavering faith, knowing that I am walking in the manifestation of your promises. I am the evidence of your goodness, the living testimony of your faithfulness. My life is a reflection of divine grace. I shine with the light of abundance, of joy, of unwavering belief. Everywhere I go, blessings follow. Everything I touch is multiplied. I am a vessel of prosperity, a channel for miracles, an instrument of divine love. I live in alignment with the truth that all things are working together for my highest good. I am not waiting for the blessing. I am the blessing. I am not waiting for the breakthrough. I am the breakthrough. I am not waiting for the miracle. I am walking in the miracle. And so it is. I stand firm in this knowing, unwavering in my faith, unshaken by what my physical eyes may see. I refuse to be moved by appearances, for I understand that reality is shaped not by external circumstances, but by the power of my belief. I align my heart with divine truth, and in doing so I command the unseen to manifest into the seen. Every word I speak carries creative power, shaping my world, rearranging conditions, and bringing forth the fulfillment of God's promises in my life. I do not pray from a place of pleading, for I know that my Father does not withhold any good thing from me. Instead, I pray from a place of confidence, declaring with authority that what has been spoken in heaven is now established on earth. My words do not return void, but accomplish the purpose for which they are sent. When I speak of favor, favor manifests. When I speak of healing, healing flows. When I speak of provision, provision overflows. The power of God moves through me, unrestricted, unhindered, unstoppable. Every morning I rise with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that this day has already been blessed. I walk in divine alignment, knowing that every step I take is ordered. I do not question. I do not doubt. I simply trust. I let go of worry, for I know that God is my provider. I let go of fear, for I know that God is my protector. I let go of uncertainty, for I know that God is my guide. There is nothing missing, nothing broken, nothing incomplete. I am whole. I am abundant. I am victorious. I no longer pray as one who is distant from God, for I understand that I am one with Him. His Spirit lives within me. His power flows through me. His wisdom speaks within me. I do not need to search outside myself for answers, for all that I need is already within. I turn inward. I listen. I trust. The whispers of my spirit are the voice of God, leading me, directing me, revealing to me the steps I must take. As I go about my day, I remain in this awareness. I do not allow distractions to shake my peace. I do not allow circumstances to dictate my emotions. I am centered, grounded in faith, walking in unwavering confidence. If a challenge arises, I do not react with fear, but with faith. If an obstacle appears, I do not shrink back, but move forward in authority. I know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, for greater is He who is in me than he who is in the world. Everything I desire is already mine, and I now align my mind, my heart, and my actions with this truth. I live as if my prayers have already been answered. I give thanks as if my blessings have already arrived. I rejoice as if my miracles are already unfolding. I do not wait to see before I believe. I believe and then I see. I walk in abundance. I walk in favor. I walk in divine health. I walk in supernatural provision. Every cell in my body vibrates with life and energy. Every part of my being is in harmony with the divine. I am surrounded by goodness, and goodness flows through me to bless those around me. My hands are anointed to prosper. Everything I touch flourishes. My words are infused with power. Every declaration I make carries weight in the spiritual realm. I release all resistance, all doubt, all hesitation. I surrender completely to the flow of divine grace. I am no longer striving, no longer struggling, no longer trying to force things into place. I trust in perfect timing. I trust in divine alignment. I trust that everything is working out for my highest good. Even when I do not understand the process, I know that God is orchestrating everything perfectly. I stand in faith, immovable, unshakable, knowing that my life is a testimony of God's goodness. I expect miracles. I expect breakthroughs. I expect supernatural favor. I do not settle for less than what has been promised to me. I do not allow fear to hold me back from stepping into the fullness of my destiny. I move with boldness, with confidence, with certainty. I declare that this season of my life is filled with blessings beyond measure. Doors that were once closed are now opening. Delays are turning into acceleration. What seemed impossible is now becoming my reality. I am positioned for greatness, for increase, for overflow. My faith is strong. My spirit is unbreakable. My mind is focused. I walk in the light of divine wisdom, making choices that align with my highest purpose. I am led by divine intuition, always in the right place at the right time. I do not chase. I do not strive. I attract all that is meant for me with ease. The universe responds to my faith, rearranging situations, bringing people and opportunities that align with my divine assignment. I remain steadfast, knowing that I am not forgotten, that I am deeply loved, that my prayers are heard and answered. I do not waver. I do not question. I do not hesitate. I step forward with confidence, knowing that the God who has begun a good work in me will surely complete it. I am a magnet for divine favor. I am a living testimony of God's faithfulness. I am victorious in all things, and so it is. I awaken each morning with an expectancy of good. I do not look to the past, for the past has no power over me. I do not dwell on yesterday's troubles, for today is new, and with it comes fresh grace, fresh mercy, and fresh opportunity. My eyes are fixed on what is before me, not behind me. I know that every moment is filled with divine possibility, and I open my heart to receive it fully. I am not moved by the noise of the world. I am not distracted by what others say, by what others think, by what others do. My focus is singular. My vision is clear. I see only the promise. I see only the abundance. I see only the manifestation of God's goodness in my life. I do not waver between belief and doubt. I do not go back and forth between faith and fear. I have made my choice, and my choice is unwavering faith. When I speak, the universe listens. When I declare, heaven responds. My words are not empty. They are not idle. They carry the weight of divine authority. I do not speak from lack. I do not speak from desperation. I speak from a place of power. I declare what is already mine, and as I declare it, it takes shape, it takes form, it becomes visible. I refuse to let circumstances dictate my emotions. I refuse to let setbacks shake my confidence. I know that everything is working together for my good, even the things I do not yet understand. When a door seems to close, I do not despair, for I know that something greater is being prepared for me. When things do not unfold as I expected, I do not lose heart, for I know that God's plan far exceeds anything I could have imagined. I am patient, for I trust divine timing. I am at peace, for I know all things are unfolding perfectly. I am filled with joy, for I already see the fulfillment of what I have prayed for. I do not wait until the blessing arrives to celebrate. I celebrate now. I do not wait until the breakthrough happens to give thanks. I give thanks now. My gratitude is my act of faith. My praise is my demonstration of belief. I am aligned with divine abundance. I'm connected to limitless supply. I do not beg. I do not chase. I do not struggle. I receive. I allow blessings to flow to me freely. I release resistance. I release anxiety. I release the need to control. I trust. I believe. I allow. I let go of the how. And I stand firm in the knowing that it is already done. I walk as one who is chosen. I carry myself with the confidence of one who knows they are favored. I do not shrink back. I do not dim my light. I do not question my worthiness. I have been called for a purpose, and I step fully into that calling without hesitation. I embrace my greatness. I own my divine identity. I walk boldly in the truth of who I am. My heart is pure. My spirit is light. My soul is free. I release all burdens, all weights, all limitations. I no longer hold on to pain, to fear, to regret. I am renewed. I am refreshed. I am restored. I am a vessel of divine love, and I radiate that love in all that I do. When I speak life. When I move with purpose. When I act with intention. I expect miracles daily. I am open to divine surprises. I know that the windows of heaven are open over my life, and blessings are pouring down in ways I cannot even fathom. I live in a state of constant expectation, knowing that what is meant for me cannot be denied. The universe conspires in my favor. Everything aligns for my highest good. I am deeply loved. I am divinely guided. I am infinitely supported. I am never alone, for the presence of God is always with me. In times of uncertainty, I listen for His voice. In times of difficulty, I lean on His strength. In times of waiting, I rest in His promise. I do not worry about tomorrow, for I know that tomorrow is already taken care of. I see only a wholeness. I see only divine fulfillment. My mind is renewed. My heart is at peace. My spirit is unshakable. I do not waver. I do not doubt. I do not fear. I stand firm. I stand tall. I stand victorious. I have already won. I have already received. I have already stepped into my breakthrough. It is now. It is done. I hold the vision of my life with unwavering certainty. I do not allow distractions, doubts, or fears to take root in my mind. I guard my thoughts carefully, knowing that every thought I dwell upon manifests into form. I do not entertain lack. I do not accept limitation. I do not acknowledge impossibility. All things are possible, and what I have spoken into existence is already mine. I walk in divine alignment, my steps ordered by an unseen hand. I do not question the process. I trust in the perfect orchestration of my life. I move with confidence, knowing that each step forward is a step closer to my breakthrough. When delays arise, I do not despair. For I know that delay is not denial. I remain steadfast, knowing that what is mine is inevitable. I reject fear in all its forms. Fear has no power over me. I do not fear failure, for I cannot fail when God is with me. I do not fear lack, for I dwell in an ever-flowing river of abundance. I do not fear rejection, for I am already accepted, already chosen, already beloved. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, and no obstacle can stand in the way of my destiny. I listen closely to the voice within me. I trust the still, small whisper that speaks truth into my heart. I am not swayed by the opinions of others, for I know who I am. I do not seek validation, for I am already validated by the Creator Himself. I do not look outside of myself for answers, for everything I need is already within me. I see with the eyes of faith. I do not judge by appearances, for I know that what I see now is only a fraction of what is unfolding. Even when circumstances seem unchanged, I remain unmoved, for I know that my breakthrough is already in motion. I hold the image of my blessing in my mind with such clarity that it cannot help but materialize. I refuse to speak against my own desires. I speak only life, only power, only truth. I embrace my present reality with joy. I do not resist where I am, for I know that every season serves a purpose. Even in moments of stillness, I am growing. Even in times of waiting, I am preparing. I do not complain about where I am, for I know that where I am is leading me to where I desire to be. Gratitude fills my heart. I rejoice in all things, knowing that every moment is part of a divine unfolding. I walk in love. I hold no grudges. I harbor no resentment. I release all offenses. I do not allow bitterness to take root in my heart, for I know that love is the greatest force in existence. I forgive freely, not because others deserve it, but because I deserve peace. I release the past with ease, knowing that I am not defined by what has been, but by what is to come. I am surrounded by divine protection. No harm shall come near me. No darkness can touch me. I walk with the assurance that I am covered, shielded, and guarded at all times. Angels go before me, preparing the way. I am never alone, for divine presence surrounds me always. I rise above negativity. I do not engage in gossip, in strife, in arguments. I protect my energy. I guard my peace. I remain centered in truth. I do not entertain conversations that diminish my faith. I do not allow negativity to take residence in my mind. I choose my thoughts. I choose my words. I choose my focus. I align myself with the highest good. I am not envious of others, for I know that there is more than enough for all. I celebrate the success of others, knowing that my own success is inevitable. I do not compare, for my journey is unique. My path is divinely crafted. My story is unfolding perfectly. I attract divine connections. The right people are drawn to me effortlessly. Doors open in my favor without struggle. I am in the right place at the right time. Everything I need finds its way to me with ease. I do not chase, I attract. What is meant for me cannot be taken away. What belongs to me is already mine. I honor my body, my mind, my soul. I speak words of life over myself daily. I do not criticize, I do not condemn, I do not doubt. I lift myself up. I encourage myself. I strengthen myself. My body is strong. My mind is sharp. My spirit is resilient. Every cell in my body vibrates with divine energy. I am renewed. I am restored. I am whole. I live in expectation of miracles. I do not wait passively. I expect actively. I wake up each day with excitement, knowing that today holds new blessings, new opportunities, new manifestations. I listen closely for divine guidance, and I act upon the inspiration that flows through me. I am not stagnant. I am not idle. I am always moving forward in faith. I refuse to dwell on what I lack, for I lack nothing. Everything I desire is already within reach. I do not beg. I do not plead. I do not question. I receive. I live in a state of divine reception, knowing that I am worthy of every good thing. I was created for abundance. I was created for joy. I was created for victory. I embrace each day as a gift. I do not waste time in worry, in regret, in fear. I live fully in the present moment, knowing that the present is where my power lies. I am not bound by the mistakes of the past. I am not anxious about the future. I am here now, fully alive, fully aware, fully at peace. I declare that my breakthrough is here. I declare that my blessings are overflowing. I declare that my life is a reflection of divine goodness. I have no doubt, no hesitation, no uncertainty. I believe. I receive. I rejoice. It is already done. I hold this truth within me and let it fill every part of my being. I do not waver. I do not question. I do not entertain doubt. My faith is unshakable because I know that what I believe in my heart must come to pass. I see beyond what is in front of me, beyond the physical reality and into the unseen, where all possibilities exist. I do not ask how or when, for I trust in divine timing. I trust that all things are working together for my good, even when I do not yet see it. I walk in certainty, knowing that my vision is already fulfilled. I move forward without hesitation. I do not look back, for the past holds no power over me. I do not revisit old failures, old disappointments, or old regrets. They have no place in my present and no influence over my future. I release every burden, every weight that has tried to hold me down. I am free. I am limitless. I am unstoppable. Nothing stands in my way, for I am walking a path that has already been cleared for me. I do not need to force. I do not need to struggle. I do not need to push. I flow with ease, with grace, with confidence, knowing that everything I need is already mine. I guard my words with intention. I do not speak against my own blessing, for my words hold power. I do not complain. I do not declare lack. I do not entertain fear. I speak only life, only abundance, only victory. My words shape my reality, and so I speak carefully, knowing that what I declare will manifest. I say I am blessed, and so I am. I say I am favored, and so I am. Every word I release sets miracles into motion. I expect divine favor wherever I go. Doors open for me in ways I cannot explain. Opportunities come to me effortlessly. People are drawn to me with kindness, generosity, and support. I do not have to force connections, for the right people find me at the right time. I do not have to struggle for recognition, for what is meant for me cannot be ignored. I walk in the fullness of my calling, knowing that everything I need is already aligning in my favor. I let go of every limitation. I do not accept the idea of impossibility, for I know that all things are possible. I do not limit myself by my past, my circumstances, or what others say. I do not let fear dictate my decisions. I rise above every limitation, every obstacle, every doubt. I step into my highest potential, knowing that I am created for greatness. I am not ordinary. I am extraordinary. I am not weak. I am powerful. I am not defeated. I am victorious. I claim this as my truth, and I live by it every single day. I align myself with divine abundance. I do not chase, I attract. I do not worry. I trust. I do not struggle. I receive. Everything I need flows to me effortlessly, for I am a magnet for blessings. Money, opportunities, connections, and favor find their way to me without resistance. I am not in competition with anyone, for my blessings are uniquely mine. There is no lack, for divine provision is endless. I open my heart, my hands, my mind, to receive without hesitation. I walk in perfect health. My body is strong. My mind is clear. My spirit is at peace. Every cell in my body vibrates with divine energy. I release every worry, every tension, every doubt, and allow healing to flow through me. I do not accept sickness, for I know that my body is designed to thrive. I do not accept fatigue, for I am energized by divine strength. I do not accept weakness, for I am filled with power. Every part of me is renewed, restored, and overflowing with vitality. I embrace peace in all areas of my life. I do not entertain chaos, for I am anchored in stillness. I do not allow stress to consume me, for I rest in divine assurance. I do not let external circumstances disturb my inner peace, for I know that I am always protected. No situation, no person, no obstacle can take away the peace that dwells within me. I breathe deeply. I release all tension, and I surrender fully to the calm presence that surrounds me. I trust the process. I do not rush, for I know that everything is unfolding at the perfect time. I do not grow impatient, for I know that waiting is not wasting. I trust that every moment, every experience, every challenge is shaping me into the person I am meant to be. I do not resist. I do not fight. I do not complain. I embrace every part of my journey, knowing that it is leading me to greater heights. I see my desires as already fulfilled. I do not hope, I know. I do not wish, I declare. I do not wait. I live in the reality of my blessing now. I feel the joy, the gratitude, the excitement of already receiving everything I have prayed for. I align my thoughts, my emotions, my actions with the truth that it is already done. I do not question. I do not doubt. I do not waver. I stand firm in the knowing that my manifestation is inevitable. I give thanks in all things. I do not wait for blessings to appear before I express gratitude. I give thanks now in this moment, knowing that my life is already filled with abundance. I do not focus on what is missing. I focus on what is already here. I count my blessings. I acknowledge the goodness around me. I celebrate every victory, big and small. Gratitude is my way of life, and it multiplies every blessing in my reality. I am aligned with divine wisdom. I do not rely on my own understanding, for I know that higher guidance is always leading me. I listen closely, I follow the nudges, I trust the path before me. I do not question the process, for I know that every step is divinely guided. I receive insight, inspiration, and clarity at the perfect time. I am never lost. I am never confused. I am never without direction. The answers I seek are already within me. I forgive completely. I do not hold on to past wounds, for I know that they do not define me. I release every resentment, every grudge, every ounce of bitterness. I do not carry burdens that weigh me down, for I am meant to be free. I forgive not because others deserve it, but because I deserve peace. I choose love over anger, freedom over bondage, joy over pain. I step boldly into my calling. I do not shrink back. I do not play small. I do not hide my gifts. I was created with purpose, and I embrace it fully. I walk in confidence, knowing that I am here to make an impact. I do not fear judgment, for I answer only to the one who called me. I do not fear failure, for I know that every step forward is a step toward success. I do not seek approval, for I am already approved by the divine. I am walking into a season of breakthrough. I feel it. I know it. I see it unfolding. Every obstacle is being removed. Every delay is turning into acceleration. Every closed door is making way for something greater. I do not waver in faith, for I know that my time is now. I hold my head high. I walk in power. I speak with authority. I do not wait for signs, for I am the sign. I do not wait for permission, for I am already chosen. I release every doubt, every fear, every worry. I am stepping into the fullness of my blessing. My breakthrough is already here. I celebrate. I rejoice. I give thanks. It is already done. I stand firm in the unwavering truth that what I have declared is already mine. I do not need to see it with my physical eyes to believe it, for I know that faith is the evidence of things unseen. I walk forward with confidence, knowing that every blessing, every breakthrough, every divine promise is unfolding in perfect harmony. I release all doubt, all hesitation, all resistance, and embrace the fullness of my manifestation with gratitude. I trust. I believe. I receive. It is already done.